go. And I'm live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nelson Career Curators. It's your favorite coach, Betty with Nelson Career Curators. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, it's happy every day, but happy Friday. I hope you all had an amazing week, very productive week. So as you know, every Friday we have an Instagram Live and we have a special guest, and our special guest is in the room, so we're going to get right to it. I'm so excited. So excited. So this week we have our special guest, right? And we are going to be talking about how she became her own boss and how she's bossing it out. And so we're going to be asking her some questions, and you guys feel free to drop some questions in the comments. Let me see if I can get this right today. Oh, no, not yet. Okay. We will. We will. Yes. So for those of you who are not familiar with Nelson Career Curators, we are a career and executive coaching practice, and we help entrepreneurs, small business owners, beginning level and mid-level professionals as well. And what does that mean? Well, we help you get a career plan together. You know, as we're waiting for our guests, one of the interesting quotes that I learned this week. Okay, now I can't quote who quote this quote, okay, but I was taking a course, a LinkedIn course, and for those of you who are on LinkedIn, who also have a profile, professional profile on LinkedIn, that is a great resource, a great place to go to take some courses and freshen up on your skills. And as a career coach, I always have to continue to educate myself and make sure that I stay within my personal development as well. And so this particular course, okay, we have our guest coming on. I guess I gotta pause it, guys. Okay, well, this particular course was talking about your first 90 days. There she is. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. I'm so glad you can join us. I was just talking to our viewers a little bit about who we are and what we do, and I was briefing them in on a quote that I came across this week because I was watching, I was taking a course on LinkedIn, and it was talking about like your first 90 days at work. And one of the quotes said that your employer owns your job, but you own your career. So I think that is a great quote, and we can go into that just a little bit later. But here you are, you guys. We have our special guest today. I am so very excited. We have the founder and owner of Rosemont Media in the house, Miss Racheal Turner. So thrilled that you can be with us today here on Nelson. Please, did I miss anything? So besides being a super entrepreneur, she's a mentor, she is a mom, she is she's a business owner, and she's a leader, in her community, in our community. So just so excited to have you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Of course, it's great to know you, Betty. Well, I am, I guess, everything you said. Still, as an entrepreneur, sometimes like I did all that, but I'm finally at a place where it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, right?
With the grace of God, of course,
Absolutely.
So, but it's like, okay, we could walk into some titles and walk into some,
Yeah, because you work for it, and there's some titles that I missed. So painter and artist as well.
Yeah. So I get just from the top, I guess I guess title myself brand manager and brand designer and business strategist. And basically what that means is through my business, Rosemont Media, I help to develop brands, starting off with brand visuals, a little bit of brand messaging, and you know, creating what that looks like in regards to logo, websites, social media graphics, all of those types of things. The main three umbrellas that I have under Roseman Media are brand development, brand management, which happens after you've done the brand development. Say you've been in your business and you've had some success, but you're like, okay, how do I get to the next level? Or I need to bring a marketing person on my team. That's where Roseman Media comes in. And then event marketing is the third umbrella. So like say you have a conference coming up, you're planning a tour. I can help with creating all the visuals that you would need, flyers, social media graphics, basically the branding of your event, and then also strategy to help make that event successful and leverage all of the great information and content that you'll have after your event.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's,
thank you.
yeah, I mean, and I'm not just saying awesome. I know I say awesome a lot, but I really
Me
mean
too. Like
that is
I said,
amazing.
like I'm like, what can I use instead of great?
No, that is amazing. And you know, in talking to you over the years, because it's been years now, right? And in talking to you over the years, it's not been a year that I have not gotten something extremely valuable from you, that I went ahead and applied right away.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. And even if I don't call you directly, I just want to tell you your website is bomb.com. I love the
Thank
website.
you.
There's
Thank
so
you.
many. Listen, guys, if you're watching right now, I really want you to go on Rosemont Media's website because there's a wealth of knowledge already there. There's value already there for you to kind of get you started. And so while I wasn't very clear, even for Nelson, we had our logo, we had our colors and all that, but you know, I went on your site to try to get some additional resources and be able to learn some more things, and I learned a lot. Not only did I learn a lot, but I was able to apply what I've learned. And you know, and I referred, you know, our blogger and just go find, you know, Rosemont Media and talk to her and see what you can learn. And then we had our consultation as well, and that was also mind blowing for me because I finished the call like, wow. That was, I mean, I had so much more clarity. It was like a big weight lifted off my shoulder, because it's like, hey, here's, you know, like you were really able to listen to me. You made me feel like you cared about my business, right? And you're like, okay, so here's what I gathered from that, and had a whole plan laid out for us, which we went ahead and executed, thanks to you.
Yeah, thank you. And that means a lot. I guess one thing I would like to mention for anyone who's a consultant or a coach or an entrepreneur in general, that's listening, that's a key word, to listen to what your customer or client is telling you. Because one thing I definitely learned, I can give you all the strategy in the world, or someone can give you all the advice in the world, but if they don't listen first to, okay, what do you prioritize as your main pain point? What do you prioritize as the thing that needs the most attention? If you don't at least address that, then you walk away like, okay, well, I still got these problems, so what am I going to do? So I just learned, you know, one of the best things you could do is listen, and then also ask good questions too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I totally agree. So with that said, I know we dove into the business a little, so let's take it a little step back. Before the business Rosemont Media came, tell us your story. Tell us, how did you even come up with this brand management dynasty, I will call it. So tell us how you got into business. Yes.
Okay, so I actually started off in corporate finance. I came from corporate, like many entrepreneurs. What I did, I ended up quitting. Basically, I had a window of time where I felt like it was just a great moment in my life to take a chance, try something new. And also I had a ton of stress in corporate, and I just wanted to start getting back to myself. So that's what drove me to entrepreneurship. And I actually started off part-time entrepreneur, and then part-time I was working as a business manager for a church. I was doing some assistant accounting work for an accounting company, and at one point in time I was even working as an assistant to a financial advisor. So I still have totally left out the finance field, and I still kind of have my safety net. One thing I want to mention that's kind of unique to my story, but you know, it's like one of the entrepreneurship. When I finally did take that leap to go into entrepreneurship, literally that same day, June 17th, I had the strongest urge to paint. And that was my first time really like not picking up a paintbrush, because it was something I would do occasionally just for stress relief. But it was the first time like I picked it up and I couldn't stop. And I realized like, okay, this is something that I really need to be doing and giving time and attention to. And I finally had time to do it. So going into full entrepreneurship really just opened doors for my creativity, for my time, and then also just seeing, you know, the limitless possibilities. I got to brand management after first starting off with event planning. That just made the most sense at the time to do based on my skill set and experience. And it was easy for me to figure out how to make money doing event planning. So I would start there, being open-minded to what could possibly open up in the future, which turned into marketing. Even with that said, it still took me a while to get to a point like now. I know brand management is a strong suit. The strong suit of my business is that no, I'm not just going to make you some social media templates and say, here you go. I'm going to make it, but then I'm going to give you some strategy. Or you'll tell me, hey, I need this. Okay, but have you thought about this? Like, I just know that's how I operate. And then even with the people who are on my team now, which I can finally say I have a team.
Yes.
They think that way also, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, I think we are getting past the thought that you can just get rich quick on social media, which it has worked for some people, but it's like, where's the substance, where's the integrity, and where's the strategy? So when I say brand management, that's what I mean. Like, my main clients, I work with them on a continual basis, and every month we're setting goals and setting targets and growing. And it's just really a beautiful thing to see, like, clients opening multiple businesses or saying like, okay, you know, I'm not going to just work in this capacity. I'm going to open up this other stream over here. And it's just a beautiful thing to be trusted with those projects and then to be on the team that's helping them to grow.
Absolutely. That's amazing. You dropped a lot of gems just in your story and in sharing your story. And so I'm going to take it back just a little bit. You mentioned that, okay, so I had a corporate job and I gradually went ahead and made my transition. I went from full-time to part-time to finally making the leap, right? And I think that's very important because I learned this the hard way the first time. Like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I quit. And it's like, you know, like 4 months later, I'm like, you know what? I mean, you know, I still want to be an entrepreneur, but I also need to pay bills. So I'm going to go back and go to work. And, you know, but I find folks who are frustrated because it's like, okay, I want to leave this. I want to leave this corporate job and I want to finally be able to have my full-time business, but it takes time, right? Just as your story stated, it takes time and it takes a strategy, and you have to go through a process even in order to get there.
Yeah.
The other thing I like what you said was that you were open-minded throughout the whole experience. Letting other, you know, possibilities come. No job is too small, and it's like, well, let me see what I can do. What else can I do here so I can continue maintaining what I have to do, my musts, but I'm going to continue to do what I love on this side and keep that cycle going until I can do what I love full time. And that's important.
It is. And just so two quick things with doing what you love. So while I was in corporate, I've always been like a creative outlet type person. I took dance when I was younger. I used to rap and write. But corporate, I started taking piano lessons, just something I always wanted to do. And I have taken lessons for about a year. Lessons so I can have more time to work, that made sense to me at the time. But in hindsight, that should have been my red flag. Like, okay, I'm really quitting everything I love and like to do that makes me for this job, right? So, what you said is definitely real, and advice I will always give is just always have that little bit of you, the thing you do just for yourself. It's not always easy to make time for it. Sometimes I still struggle making time to do those things, but it's so important to have that outlet. The other thing you mentioned about easing into it and taking your time. Um, a lot of people say like, okay, you start off in entrepreneurship or you want to do this thing, focus on that, and just do this thing. A lot of times marketing is like, okay, people are going to be confused. It's okay to do a lot of things until you figure out what you really want to do. And even when I transitioned from event planning into marketing, like people still ask me about event planning, but I figured out a way to pivot where I'm still doing events, but now I pivoted and made it work under my new thing that I'm doing. So don't be afraid to try new things. So what, they're going to say, oh, didn't you just do this yesterday? That person may not be your customer anymore. Like, so what? Don't worry about that. I think life is too short to try all the things. Do all the things. But
Absolutely.
like I said, sometimes you have to part-time it. But do all the things.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it. I think that's great advice. I think that's absolute great advice. So, and thank you. It's part of your story, and we appreciate you sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you. So now you have a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that transition? Was it when you got to the capacity of having a lot of more work on your plate? When did you decide, you know what, I need help. I need a team. What was that experience like?
Once I understood that in order for me to really hit the financial goals that I have for my life, or to even have a chance of hitting millionaire status, I knew it was not going to happen just with myself alone. Like, there's only so many hours, in a month. If I have this monthly goal I'm trying to hit, there's only so many projects I can take. There's only so many clients I can service just myself with my business model I had at the time. Or even I've changed my business model with that change of financial mindset, but still I know I cannot do it without a team and leverage, the skills of others, and being able to, elevate what I'm able to do. So it was once I understood, like, you're not going to get to millionaire status, you're not going to be able to take a vacation and keep your turned off unless you have a team.
Right, right. And then with that too, a lot of times I try to say, yes, there are folks who want to be a solopreneur, right? And so you put yourself in a situation where, so you get out of corporate, you have your business, but you're now a solopreneur, you're self-employed,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if you don't work, you're still working for yourself, but if you don't work, you're not bringing in an income.
Right.
Whereas a business, whether you show up or not, right, you still have a team in place, you have people in place, you have a system in place where that business is going to continue to run and generate income. And that's where that's important too.
Yeah. And you said a key word with systems. So depending on your business, you don't necessarily have to have a team. Like, there are ways now where you can have money generated from running ads and having like digital downloads, or even like with my art and lifestyle brand Radiant Thorns, where I sell my abstract paintings, and I also have a growing journal line.
Yes, I placed my order. I just want to let you know. Yeah. I love that cover. Yes, yes, yes. And so I'm sorry to cut you off, but I didn't see like the inside. But when I read it on Amazon, it said that you have like it's time management. It helps you with that. So I said, oh, ordering it. So
yeah,
mine's on its way.
I'll show you that particular page. So, and the way this came about, and another key thing is partnership and collaboration, right? So I'm a journal lover. I've journaled ever since I have my first journal from when I was 10 years old, but I don't know if I was like my real first journal because I just don't remember, of course. But I have like every journal from 10 years old to now. On my desk, I have my to-do list journal.
Okay.
Brilliant ideas journal when I'm working throughout the day and I have like a business idea or something that I think could turn into something big. It goes in here. Occasionally I go back and revisit and see like, okay, what has come back around. I have my planner and I use my planner in a very unique way, which I didn't understand. It was unique until speaking with a friend. But every day, any income that comes in, any invoice, I write it down on the day. I do have electronic income statement system or invoicing system where I keep track, but it helps me to stay on top of my goals and to celebrate the small wins. Because a lot of times we don't slow down enough. Like I'll calculate, oh, I'm beating my goal this month. Like great, you know. And then I also have this journal on my desk. I've been using it as my health and fitness journal. This was created by Lori Swank. She's like my digital business motivation person, someone that I follow on Instagram. She's great. But just saying that, showing you that to show like that's my system that I have, and I'm a big believer in writing things down. Where the goal planner came to be was I was talking with a guy, and there are not many journals that are created for men, or like is a guy really going to have the I am cis journal in his business?
Probably not.
So I actually created this for him, just as a fun project and to stretch myself in regards to what I could create with journals and planners. And it turned out so good. We decided to collaborate. Half the proceeds go to his organization that benefits underserved students. But anyway, here's the time management page. So what's unique about this? You have before 7 a.m. For every hour of the day, there's basically a place to write down what you have going on. And then there's after 7. So you can literally keep track of your entire day and even take notes. Occasionally what I like to do, you know, I have my to-do list, but it's like, where is my time going? Some days I will literally write down everything I do hour by hour. Then I go back and review like, oh, so I answered 3 emails that was not on my schedule. So now when I'm scheduling, I have to remember to block out time or reserve time in the day that I know I have to reply to emails. Like that's a light bulb moment for me in business. When you are a solopreneur or self-employed, you are the customer service. You know, you are the sales. So you have to include time and budget time for five. You have to budget time to respond to those random inquiries that you get. Like it's just all, you have to just have that already in your mind that you have to do those things and plan accordingly.
So this is very interesting, and thank you so much for sharing that, because and for time management, that's something that I continue to have to work on every day. I think that's not something that it's like working out, I guess. You got to do it every single day to get your result, right? And so with time management, what's important for you, how you got that system down, I'm sure it was through trial and error, but there's also a discipline component in a lot of what you just said, right? That's my takeaway. Would you say you were always this disciplined, or owning the business made you more disciplined, or have to rethink how disciplined you actually are?
I've always been this disciplined, because even like how I mentioned, like when I realized things were kind of getting overwhelming at work. When I said we were going through a merger, so there were all these extra projects. It wasn't just, okay, I just can't, you know, here's my job and I don't have time to do my job. It was extra projects. I was managing a remote team, do a lot of cleanup after, you know, it was just all these new things. And I know myself, and I'm the type of person like, okay, what has to get done? I'm gonna throw this back and we're gonna get it done and we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's how my parents are, you know, so that's how I am. So I can make myself work. Like I laugh at this, but there have been times like I'll be crying on the keyboard, working, I'll break down, but I'm gonna get this, you know, which isn't, it's a good it's a good thing because it's allowed me to be able to push through and get to a certain level where if you don't have that type of mindset where you could just keep going, sometimes, that can hold you back. But at the same time, my biggest area of struggle right now is self-care and, making sure I take care and eating healthy, or doesn't get to 3 o'clock and I didn't eat. So like
Right.
my focus and my discipline can be so intense to where when it comes to my personal, health goals and things like that, that's where, I'm lacking. But I have made, a promise, and I'm taking steps to myself to do better in those areas.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just making those promises and taking those steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Continuously. So I just want to also ask you, what would be some of the advice that you have for someone who's watching this today and is like, you know what, I do want to eventually make the leap. I'm a little hesitant. What are some of the things you would say they should learn or get in place before making that jump?
One thing I did that I highly recommend is actually taking an entrepreneurship course, whether it's online. I took one at my local community college. And that's how I, started on my path to entrepreneurship and got a foundation before I even had a clue of what things would really look like.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that you need to know besides marketing. Marketing is very important, but you also need to know about, cost of goods sold. You need to know what's income. You need to know about what expenses are, revenue, and all of these finance things, and just things that are true business principles. It's very important to learn that. I do think it is a great thing to be able to just do it and take a chance and, put your thing out there. You're going to have so much more success if you actually take the time to learn. Like, these are business rules that have been around forever, and the reason why, because they work and you really do need to know them.
Yeah.
So definitely get that.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is awesome. I told you guys you're going to get some gems over here. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. I'm going to ask you one last question. So under the concept of brand, right? What to you, and you might have mentioned that in the beginning, what is an actual brand? What is the definition of a brand?
I think so. Before I give my definition, I think it's separate personal brand from a business brand, because those are two different things. I think your personal brand really, it starts with what's at the core of you, and the way you present that is what would be your personal brand, how you present it and how you're perceived. So your personal brand is, by the definition I would give is you, but as how you define you and how you are perceived. So that's personal brand. Then for business brand, again, it also is a big part of that is how it's perceived, because you can tell people till the cows come home, this is my brand. I'm a great brand, but customer service sucks and no one knows who you are, and have a negative image in their mind of your brand. That's not what the public is going to say about your brand. So a great portion of how you are perceived, but then your brand is also your how your mission and values communicated and what you stand for. It also includes your visuals, just basically your reputation and how you are perceived. So I guess actually same definition, but I feel like with a personal brand, it's more personal. Really, it should be who are you, and then your brand is more of like who are we, the business.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Fantastic. So I hope you all are watching, and well, I know you're watching. I hope you all had a great takeaway from what you're doing at Rosemont Media. I just can't say enough about you, because I'm I'm so excited about what you're doing, what you continue to do. I'm watching from afar, I'm watching from close, and I'm learning. I'm continuing to learn from you and how you do your business and what you do, and you always give your 100%, And I really love that. And every conversation that we've ever had, it's always been 100%. And it didn't necessarily have to be about brand or social media or anything like that, but you always were very genuine and open and just, you know, okay, like meeting me where I was. Because when it came to social media, when I first talked to you about social media, I didn't want to be on social media. I said, nah, it's fine. You know, we could just run the business and I don't even have to be on there at all. And it's like, well, that's not an action.
Right.
So,
And now you lighting, you got the background.
oh, yes. I got a background. I'm on here every Friday. So I really appreciate you. I'm so grateful for the growth that you have put into us in real time. Thank you for mentoring, you know, our youth and our social media folks who are out here watching and working very hard. A lot of what you and I discuss is being executed in real time on our Nelson page. So we really appreciate that. We have more to do, I'm sure, and we're ready. So thank you so much. And so if there are no questions, guys, did you want to leave us with your final thoughts at this current climate and for our big entrepreneurs? What are some of the final thoughts that you have?
Sure. Final thought, don't feel pressure to always be plugged in or always showcasing what you're doing. There is a benefit to bringing people along on your journey, you know, that can turn into sales, that could turn into monetization, sure. But if you feel like, okay, maybe I need quiet time, maybe I need to be off of social media, that is totally fine. During COVID at the beginning and even throughout, like I have taken complete pressure off of myself to post to my social media pages. Clients, of course, you know, they're still rolling and going, but for me, I have experienced the best business growth once I took that pressure off and was able to have more quiet moments. And now I'm ready to get, you know, back on top of it and do certain things. But it's okay. Sometimes posting to social media, maybe that's not for your business model, and that's okay. Just don't feel pressure to always have to do what everyone else is doing, and don't feel like you always have to be plugged in.
Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really do appreciate that. Racheal, thank you so much. We have Racheal, the owner, the founder of Rosemint Media, and so many other businesses. You guys, please make sure you order the planner. Get that planner. Yes. And get your time management. I know I ordered mine. Once I get it, you will see me with a picture with my planner. So just to kind of help you guys out to make sure you stay on task. And that the part, again, I didn't see the inside before I purchased it. You just showed that. But the before 7, I love that. I love that because that is my self-care time. And so now I can actually go ahead and write that in, like, this is what I'm doing. This is self-care time before I get started. So I love that. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Thank you for all that you're continuing to do and contributing. Thank you. So last thing, how do people get in touch with you and Rosemint Media?
Best place to get in touch is through the website, rosemintmedia.com. You can also email me, Racheal, RACHAEL, at rosemintmedia.com. Really, email is my preferred method of contact. Those are the best ways. My other website is radiantthorns.com. That's where you can find journals and abstract art. And yeah, email me.
Fantastic. So we're going to put Racheal's contact information along with this video if you want to go back and watch it in case you missed anything, and that you want to get in contact with Racheal and get in part with a lot of the wonderful things that she's currently doing. Racheal, thank you again so much for coming on, Nelson Career Curators. We are so excited to have you and so excited for all the wonderful things that you're doing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, bye.